We're starting Daf Ayin Zayin. 77. So we said, the Mishnah said, "Amotzi yayin kedem mizigat takos." If somebody carries wine, he asked how much they carry to be hayav kedem mizigat takos, enough wine to put in the cup. Tana, we have a braita kedem mizigat kos yafeh. My kos yafeh, kos shel beracha, kos of berakat hamazon. How much is in that? Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Abba Baravua, kos shel beracha tzarich sheyeh bo rova revi'it. You put in a quarter of a revi'it of wine. Why? Not because that's how much it needs. Kedesh im zegenu, so that when you dilute it, v'yamod al revi'it, it will be a revi'it. Amar Rava, afanana mitanena. He says, we have in our Mishnah that kos shel yayin needs rova revi'it. Where do we have that? Hamotzei yayin, our Mishnah. Hamotzei yayin, if somebody carries wine, how much? Kedem mizigat hakos. Enough to dilute the cup. Vetani alam, we learned that kedem mizigat kos yafeh. Vekatani seifa sh'ar kol ha'mashkim birvi'it. Other mashkim are birvi'it. So therefore, I assume that a kos shel beracha has how much wine in it? Revi'it. Right? And therefore, and if I know that when you dilute wine, it's 1 part wine, 3 parts water, so you know that you need in a kos shel beracha rova revi'it. Look at Rashi. Taneina. Mimatniti nami shanina dezeo shi'uro. I can prove from the Mishnah that the shi'ur of wine that you need in a kos shel beracha is a quarter of a revi'it. Mi detani b'shar mashkin revi'it. Since I said all other liquids are revi'it, shamina mineh, the en hotzah b'mashki aroi l'shtiyah b'pachom revi'it. The amount of liquid that you drink that you need to carry is revi'it. Hilkach ar kolchach kishi aru b'yayin kedem mizigat kos shel beracha. When they estimated for wine how much you need for kos shel beracha, shi'ur har'uyah l'shtiyat revi'it nakat. It's the amount that you're going to need for drink of revi'it. V'hainu rova revi'it. And I know that that's a quarter of revi'it. Dechiyahiv al chad telat maya. When you put 1 part wine, 3 parts water, kederech hamizigot haruyot l'shtiyah, like the proper dilution, ya'amod al revi'it. It will be a revi'it. Yesh to'im. We don't need to see the to'im. Next. Vetani alagna. Shakon revi'it. Ve'rava l'ta'ameh. Rava is according to his taste almost. The Amar Rava says, Kol hamra deolodari al hat lat maya, that you don't dilute 1 part wine, 3 parts water. Lav hamrahu. It's not considered wine. It's too strong. Doesn't work well. Amar Abaye says, Sheteh teshuvot badavar. There's 2 answers from here. Now, meaning I disagree with 2 ways. What Abaye wants to say, does Abaye disagree with the fact that you need rov revi'it, or does Abaye just saying, listen, Ava, you have a nice academic exercise, but it's wrong, but the halakha stays the same. Rashi seems to learn that he agrees with the halakha, he's just arguing on the proof. Sheteh teshuvot badavar. Hada, first of all, the Tanan, I have a Mishnah that says, V'hamazug shne chelke mayim ve'ehad yayin min yayin asheroni. Rashi, Hada dehamra delo dari maya ela ahad teren b'masechet nidah. Right, masechet nidah, we have a type of wine that's 1 part to 2 parts, not 1 part to 3 parts. It says, Hamisha mar'eh damim teme'im him. There's 5 different colors that blood could be that it's considered tameh. Time of the Gemara, they differentiated between reds. Nowadays they don't differentiate between reds. But in the time of the Gemara, they knew the different types of red. That are masorted of different types of red. So we have Hamisha mar'eh damim teme'im him. Ve'had minayu kemazug. One is like diluted wine. Umefaresh b'mishnah kemazug k'shamarti lecha shne chelke mayim ve'ehad yayin. 2 parts water, 1 part wine. Meneyayin asheroni shegadel besharon shemedinai. That's a part of Israel. So you see that it's not standard to do 1 part to 3 parts. What? Maybe not. Maybe you, Rava, are a little weird. You like weak wine.
Is that referencing wine that they drink? Is that referencing wine, the color of the wine?
Okay. Sounds like kemazug, like diluted wine, standard diluted wine, which is 2 to 1. That's where Bai learns it. So he says, Ve'od, and another question, Mayim bekadu mitztarfim. The water is in the is in the pitcher, and it's mitztaref, meaning if you're carrying the wine, right?
3/4 of an ounce. How is that?
and it's chashuv because the water is in the jug. Rashi v'od mayim bekad u'mitzarfin ita'amad dematnitin. If the reason for the Mishnah, yain mishum delchima zigle, when you're going to dilute it, v'yira'el shall be drinkable. Yebor v'it hashta miya kimafikle, when he's carrying it adayin lo nimzag, ve'en kan shiur mayim, the water is not mixed in yet. She'odam bekad he'ach mitzarfim. How do you combine one ingredient with another ingredient to be hashuv? It's not hashuv yet. Wasn't mixed. The reason of the Mishnah is not because you can be able to drink it as revi kishar mashkim. That's the shiur. Wine is hashuv. Doesn't need revi. Could be one part to 2 parts, and you'll get 2/3 of. You'll get some other shiur. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. If I have, and if the shiur of kedem mizigat kos yafeh is 2/3 is a rov arvi'it. If I put in two parts water, I'm going to have 2 and 2.25 bitzim, right? It's a quarter. I'm going to have 3/4 of revi'it. I'm not going to have a full revi'it. Says the Gemara, Rava is not. Amalei Rava, I don't know what you're talking about. Had kamash lehalke mayim v'hayad yayin min yayin asheroni. You have this Mishnah, yayin asheroni lehod derafi. Says, you're right. Yayin asheroni is 2-1. It's weak stuff. Everybody knows yayin asheroni, weak quality wine. Einachinami, you get inferior stuff, you don't dilute it so bad. Einami, another pshat. Hata mishum hazuta, like Eli said. They're not drinking the stuff. They're using it for a Pantone shot. Aval ta'ama, you want it to taste good? Buy it tvei, put more water. You can't argue with me. I know what wine tastes like. Rashi. Inami hata mishum hazuta nakatlats for the color. V'ninami the daria hatla beta'ama. Mar'i dam lo have. When you put 1 to 3, it's not going to look like blood. Ela b'shnei helke mayim ve'had yain v'yayiv betafeh. If you put in more, dam adome lo kedam yaroku. If the blood is more diluted, like the wine that Rava was drinking, it's the same as being green. It's tahor. That's a what? That's just a color thing. It has nothing to do with drinking. Utka amart, and this is what you said. Mayim bekaru mitzarfim. The water's in the pitcher, and you're counting it towards the shiur of carrying. Le'anyan Shabbat midi de hashiv ba'inan. Ve'ha nami ha hashiv. You're right. It's not the shiur for drinking yet, but carrying this amount of wine is hashuv because this is the amount of wine that I put in the kosher beracha. Even though it's not mixed yet, but since I could mix it, it's already hashuv. Rashi ha hashiv the hazil etzrufe b'maya, like all the other things in the Mishnah. Hare, I have the water for the kilor. Hare, I didn't mix it with the kilor yet.
No, if you just fry.
Nowadays in the pharmacy, when they mix something, they have like a special sterile water, right? Both. They use regular water, purified water, distilled water, and for eye medicines, plain distilled water. And but if it wouldn't be specially distilled water, whatever, it wouldn't be ra'ui to put in eye medicine. Could be nowadays like it would be different, huh? Pre-mixed. Okay. So that's why. So according to Rashi, Abai is not arguing on anything except for Rava's proofs. Saying Rava, you got excited. You thought that this statement of Rabba Baravu is in the Mishnah. Nah, it's not in the Mishnah. Rava says yes, I think it is. Tosafot. Tosafot says, "V'od mayim bekad v'mitztarfim." Im ken ta'ama lav mishum dechi mazig lehaver v'it v'hazi l'shtiyah. So Abaye's question: if the water is in the what's it called? If the water is in the jug, is it mitzaref? Right? If the water v'hazi l'shtiyah. Kishar mashkin. Ela hachi shiura. That's the shiur. Aval gav dechi mazigle. Even though if you dilute it, lo haver v'it ke de pirish ben kunshus. Ela mishum de yain hashuvu. The reason why you chayav on wine because it's hashuv. Ra'ui latzni ol lekoshel beracha. Va'afal pi she'enu ra'ui lekoshel beracha below mayim. Mikol makom have kemo mayim. It's like water shematzniim that you put aside lashuf bemetakilor to making the medicine. You can't use it yet because you didn't mix the medicine in. And since it's hashuv to put it away, it's good. Ve'abaya lo palig ele beha. De lo matzrich revi'it mazug. So Abaye is arguing like this. Abaye says when you make a kosher beracha, in the end, it doesn't have to be a revi'it. The shiur of rova revi'it for kosher beracha, according to Abaye, is not per se because when you fill it up with water, it's going to be a revi'it. I don't care how much it comes. Aval rova revi'it yain hay tzarich lekosher beracha. You need a quarter of revi'it, and then you'll fill it up with 2 parts water. It'll be 3/4 of revi'it. How do I know that? Kedemashma ba'arvei pesachim. The Amar of Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Dalet kosot halalu, right? These 4 kosot, tzarich sheyeh bahem. You need to have kedem mezigat kos yafeh. Kedem mezigat kos yafeh. The amount of mezigat kos yafeh, meaning a quarter of revi'it each. Meiti vei, I'll ask you a question. Dalet kosot halalu, tzarich sheyeh bahem kedem revi'it. They have to have a revi'it, so we have a stira. One says you need keder mezigat kos yafeh. The other one says revi'it. Says the Gemara, idi v'idi had shiurau. It's the same shiur. Keder mezigat kos yafeh lekol echad ve'echad. Enough to dilute a cup, right? Which is a quarter revi'it. That's in each cup you have a quarter. Keder revi'it, right? Lekol echad ve'echad. Hainu keder revi'it in one altogether. Mashma, the revi'it, the braita. When the braita says revi'it, hainu l'kor alba kosot. To have a l'kol had rova revi'it. Each one gets a quarter. Shum mezigat kos yafeh. So clearly Abaye agrees that in every kosher beracha, you need a rova revi'it, like the Gemara says in Pesachim. But Abaye is going to say, you don't have to put in 3 parts water. Even if it's 2 parts water, it's okay. And I don't have a whole revi'it. What does it mean? Wow. You could drink it plain, without water. Or if you dilute it, v'yishtehu. So here,
from here we see that you can have a kosher bracha that's more water than wine.
oh, we know that. In those times, standard wine was diluted like that. Their wine was very strong, so they needed more dilution.
The wine we buy today is diluted. Essentially, the wine that we buy in the bottles is probably diluted.
Now, you buy good wine, it's not diluted. You buy kiddush wine, it's diluted. But if you buy a good wine, a French wine, they're not allowed to put water in it. The Herzogs, all those, they're not allowed to put water in them. Elamah, their wine grew stronger. The world was fresh. The wine came out strong. I don't know. If you skip down a little bit, he wants to say that Rav Yosef Abaya Sfirulu de Koshel Beracha by Revi'it Yain Hai K'demashma besamuch. He says, now the Reed thinks, he says, Abaye argues bichlal on Rabba bar Avua. And he holds you put plain wine in the cup without diluting it. You want to dilute it after a revi'it. Ubraita d'arvei pesachim dekatay nisheh b'ayim revi'it, each cup. If so it comes out. Hamotzi yayin kedem mizigat tekos will be kedem revi'it. And then you say, kol ha-mashkim b'revi'it. What do you just let wine be with the rest of the mashkim? Mashem am penav she'aval gav dehave b'revi'it kishar mashkim. Hainu mishum delo net'eh b'drava. We shouldn't make a mistake like Rava. The hashi b'chdei sh'roi l'mzog v'l'amol al-revi'it.
We already know that wine doesn't get published on mashkim.
No, Abaye is saying the opposite, Jack. He's saying that it does.
No, we're saying it should be revi'it. So why does the Mishnah say both? Just put it together.
Right.
We have to separate.
Why?
Because we know that mashkim and wine always.
But in the end, it's the same.
All mashkim you would say shakol, let's say, right?
But I understand. But in the end, it's the same shiur.
Good, but we don't want to make a mistake.
Okay, so that's what he's saying. Okay. So that's a big chidush of Tosfot, that according to him, Abaye is actually arguing on Rava. He's saying you need either a quarter of revi'it or a whole revi'it of plain wine. Big chidushim. Okay. Let's continue. The Gemara says, Amar Tana, we learned, Yavesh, dried wine, not dry wine, dried wine. No, dried. He dried it out, now he has powder. Yavesh, he dried the wine, bekazait. So you need a kazait of the dried wine. Devrei Rabbi Natan. What? I guess so. Amar Rav Yosef, Rashi, yayin karush. Karush. It doesn't mean frozen, right? It means karush. It came together. Congealed or whatever. Right? Yayin karush. Yeah. I don't know what wine looks like when it congeals. Go do an experiment in the office.
Regular wine when you to make wine.
Yeah.
After you pour everything in the bottom.
That's sediments. That's shimrei yayin. This is wine that became solid. Yavesh bekazait. Dried wine, a kazait. Divrei Rabbi Natan. Amar Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef says, Rabbi Natan. Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda Amru davar echad. They both said one thing. Rabbi Natan had amaran. That yain karush is revit. Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda detanya. Rabbi Yehuda omer shisha dvarim, 6 things. Mikule bet Shammai umechumre bet Hillel. 6 things bet Shammai is mekel more than bet Hillel. Dam nevela, blood of a nevela. So not the basar, but the blood. Bet Shammai mitaharim. Bet Shammai says it's tahor. It's not nogea b'psara, whatever. It's not. You touch it, you're not tameh. Ubet Hillel mitameim. Bet Hillel says it's tameh. Amar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda. Av keshetemeu bet Hillel lo temeu ela bedam sheyesh bo revi'it. You need a revi'it of dam. Why? Ho'il v'yachol lekrosh v'la'amod al kazait. Because when it coagulates, it will be a kazait. So he gives it the same din as basar. Basar nevela is kazait, and dam is basar like a kazait. Now, but I look at it al shem sofo, meaning how much nevela solids do you have in this blood? A kazait. When you have it, if you eat. If it coagulates, it'll be a kazait. So that's how much solids I have in there. Right? So you see that Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Natan have the same liquid to solid ratio. Revi'it of liquid, when it dries out, becomes a kazait. Amru davar echad. Amar Abaye dilma lohi. Who says that it's agreeing? Ad kan lo kamar binatan hacha tebai revi'it ela biyayin. Why the kalish? Wine is thin, right? You pour wine, it's thinner. So therefore, there's not so much solids. When it coagulates, the ratio is revi'it to a kazait. Aval bedam, Desamich, blood which is thicker. Kazait lo by revi'it. Maybe less than revi'it will be a kazait, according to the Binatan's understanding of the ratio. Right? Inami, ad kan the opposite. Lo kam Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda hatam de kazait sagi le bervi'it. Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda only holds that a kazait needs a revi'it. Ela bedam de samich, it's thick, so therefore revi'it will become a kazait. Aval yain de kalish, Rabbi Natan, Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda, he's going to say you need revi'it and a half. Kazait have yoter mirvi'it. It's more than a revi'it. V'chim afik pachol mi kazait. If he carries kazait, have yoter mirvi'it. So therefore, v'chim afik pachot mi kazait lehayev. So therefore, if I had a revi'it, it will be 3/4 of a kazait. So maybe I'll be hayav on that. Ella, we don't know that they agree necessarily. They're saying similar concepts, but it's not the same. Ibaya lehu. I'll ask you a question. In the Mishnah it says halav kedeh gemi'ah. Kedeh gemi'ah or kedeh gemi'ah. What's the code? They didn't have it written. This seems to be a proof that the Mishnah wasn't written. The Mishnah was dictated and it wasn't written down till later. Because they have a question about what's the proper spelling. Right? Halav. Kedeh gemi'ah or kedeh gemi'ah. It also seems like they weren't always so makpid on every ayin to pronounce it strongly. Because if they did, how would they have a question? Right? Yeah, they rushed through it. Ibailu. Kedeh gemi'ah or kedeh gemi'ah. Amar of Nachman bar Yitzchak. Hagmi'ini na me'at mayim mekadech. Give me a swallow. So you see from the Torah that the correct Gita says with an aleph. What? Hagmi'ini na, sure. Ibaya lehu. Gar'inin or gar'inin? What? Same. That sounds the same. Right. Gar'inim, Rashi, matnitin de perkin del el. Chutz miklipehem vegar'inehem. Thank you. Amar Rabba bar Ula. V'nigra me'erkecha. What is v'nigra? It'll be reduced. Says the shoresh of v'nigra is, it's pulled out like you pull out the pit. You have a date. It's heke. You pull out the pit, it's less. V'nigra. Gara'in because it's something that you goreya, that you pull out. Ibaya lehu. Omemot or omemot, right? When we have coals, Rashi, gabe gehalim maitinan le beketz atzolim. Gehalim. Yachol omemot, that they're going out. Talmud lomar, esh, fire. Esh yachol shalevet. Says the Gemara, so is it omemot with the aleph or with the ayin? Amar bi Yitzchak bar Avdimi, arazim lo imemuhu began Elohim. It's tree, cedars, lo imemuhu. Rashi says imemuhu means lo ichshichu marito. They didn't darken. Liot hem na'im imenu, that they should be nicer than him. So you see that it's with a ayin. As it goes out, it gets dark. Ibaya lehu. Ma'amitzin with the aleph. Ibaya lehu. Me'amitzim tenan or ma'amitzin with the ayin. Ma'amitzin. Tanu, right over there. It's by lekaban gabe einayim shel met beperek shol en ma'amitzim enav shel met on Shabbat. Normally it's a kabod. V'Yosef yashit yado al einecha. Right? Close the eyes. Maybe I don't know. So you're not allowed to be ma'atzimim einav shel met b'Shabbat because the met is muktzeh. Right? So he says. So is it with the aleph or with the ayin? Amar Rabbi Hiya bar Abba, Amar Rabbi Yohanan, ve'otzem einav mirot bera. Someone who closes his eyes not to shuf the G's. So otzem einav is close the eyes with the ayin. Tana Rabbanan, hamotzi halav shel behema A new story. Tana Banan, hamotzi halav shel be'ema kedei gemi'ah. Enough for a swallow. Halav shel isha ve'loven shel betzah, human milk and egg whites. How much? Kedei liten b'mshifa shel kilor. Enough to mix in the kilor that they, I don't know, for the eyes. Rashi, sherigilim l'shufo b'halav shel isha. Many times they use human milk. It works good for the eyes. Kilor, how much kilor? How much of the medicine that you put in the kilor? Kedei lashuf b'mayim, enough to mix with the water. Rashi says, l'shnei einayim. How he knows that, I'm not sure. Enough to mix for 2 eyes. Bayra vashe, kedei shifa or kedei ahiza v'shifa tiku. Rashi says, where is it? Kedei shifa or kedei ahiza v'shifa, ma shenidbak be'etzbe'otav levad ma shenotem be'enav. Do you have to have the right amount, subtracting what's going to get stuck to your fingers or not? Tiku. No answer. Devash, honey, kedeli ten ala katit. Enough to put on a bruise that the animal has on its back. So it's like a pimple, right? Tana, we learned kedeli ten al pi katit. To put on the opening of the katit, on the mouth of the katit. Bay Rav Ashi, al katit, apuma de kula katit, or dilma amur shakama de katit. La afuke hodrana de lo tiku. Look at Rashi. Apuma de kula katit, vekol makah kiruya pe, is the whole makah called pe katit, or mur shakama elyon, like the tip, and the sides of it are not called pi katit. Tiku, we don't know that either. Amar Rav Yehuda Amarav. Kol ma shebara Kadosh Baruch Hu be'olamo lo bara davar echad batala. Nothing is for nothing. Bara shablul, he created, shablul is a snail. Lekatit. You could smash it and put it on the katit and it's mirapeh. Rashi, maniha alav, you put it on top. Bara zvuv, he created flies, litzir'ah. Lemisha akatzot tzir'ah, somebody that got bitten by a wasp. Kotesh zevuv, crush a fly, umaniha alav, and put it on it. Yitush, created mosquitoes. Linahash, for a snake. I guess you do the same.
Does it make a difference what type of fly?
I can't tell you. V'nahash, he created a snake. Lahafafit is min shehin. It's a type of boil. Kanarei, you crush the snake on it. V'samamit is a spider, right? Irania. Scorpion?
No.
Spider. Le'akra for a scorpion. Spider for a scorpion. Heichi avid. What do you do with the spider? Mighty, you bring hada ukma, one black one, v'hada hivra, and one white one, v'shalki lehu, and you cook them, v'shai file, and you smear it. Tanu Rabbanan. Why not?
Now the Kelly is good guard. That's it. Kelly is better. But it's not a all this item to hold them.
No, only shiratzim. And what's the difference? You have to get better. Yitush la Nahash ben Ishai says, Nirali b'siyata d'shmaya, hatam she'asa kadosh baruch hu, shemakata nahash tetrape b'yitush, that the snake bite is healed with the yitush. Kedeshi is kora adam, that a person should remember the ma'aseh nahash, the actions of the snake, right? In Gan Eden, garma haviyata yitushim ba'olam, it caused the creation of mosquitoes. Kemo she'amru rabotenu, achar shehata adam harishon, bepitui hanahash, after Adam Rishon sinned, by the seduction of the snake, nitkalela ha'aretz, the ground was cursed, shetotzi yetushim v'domehem, that it should come up with all types of flying pests.
It's not kilala.
What?
They were created after Adam.
Something like that.
According to the Gemara, it's not kilala. He says kilala.
So is it considered a creation?
According to the Gemara,
Saying it probably in the ground and came out of the ground.
You're allowed to kill a Yiddish on Shabbat?
No.
It's a creation.
Anything that comes from the ground, you're not allowed to kill. What? Listen, is it a pest? It's a pest. Before the Chet of Adam Rishon, the Nahash didn't bite either. Okay. Tana Rabbanan, Hamisha emot hen. There's 5 fears that are emat halash al gibor, a fear of the weaker one on the stronger one. Emat mafgia al ari. So nobody really says what a mafgia is. Rashi gives you a definition. Haya ketana, it's a small animal. The kola gadol, that makes a lot of noise. The shomeya, the lion hears. The yareh sheteheh b'riyah gedolah, he's afraid it's something big. Uboreach, and he runs away. Emat yatush al apil. The mosquito makes the elephant nervous because he goes up his trunk and he bothers it. Rashi nechnas lepil behotamo. V'chen samamit leakrav nechnas lo beozno. Emat samamit al akrav, the spider on the scorpion. Emat nunit is a swallow ala nesher on the eagle. Emat kilvit or kilchit, right? Al leviatan. Kilchit is a small fish, on the leviatan is a big fish. Amar v'yudam arav maikira hamavlig shod al az. He makes a fear of the shod. I don't know, is that shod? Someone that could get shadud, someone weak. Al az on the strong one. Or al az, where is it? Shod al az. Shadud, the one that gets robbed, al gibor, on the strong one. Ben Ish Chai says something amazing. He says, Kashem minyana lamali nirali b'siyata d'shmaya l'rmoz she'asa elu keneged hamisha umot sheshaltu b'Yisrael, keneged the 5 nations that rule, that have dominion over Am Yisrael. The emot ve'umot hadhu, emot, umot, very related. Tehila galut Bavel. זה נבוכדנצר שנקרא אריה. דכתיב עלה אריה מסובכו, וסוף נתבטל. לכך עשה עמד מפגיע על ארי. אחריו גלות מדי, שנעשה בו גזירת כליה. Right? They were going to be destroyed. על ידי אחשוורוש בעצת המן. So זה אחשוורוש is like an akrav, שנושך, that he bites, כבהמות ולא בכוונה. או בבהמות. Ken Ahashverosh, he also wanted to kill us without even knowing. V'nitbatel gamzeh, he was nitbatel. Lekach asa emat samamit al akrav. Aharav galut Yavan, shaya milhamot shelahem bepilim. They fought against us with elephants. V'gamzeh nitbatel, and they were also destroyed. Lekach asa emat yatush al pil. V'harzeh galut Edom v'Yishmael. V'yadua be'edom dechtiv im tagbia kanesher. If you'll be high like an eagle, that's the sign of Rome, was the eagle. Lekach asa emat sinunit ala nesher. V'leviatan keneged Yishmael. Why? What? Shenilva. They escort Yisrael bebrit milah. They have brit milah. Shegam hem nimolim. Lekach asa emat kilvit al leviatan. ונראה לי בסייעתא דשמיא לכך עשה ברא הקדוש ברוך הוא 5 אצבעות באדם שבהם נלחם האדם כדי שהאם יזכור 5 אמות הנזכר, that the בריאה קטנה has on the בריאה גדולה, ובזה לא יתגאה האדם בכוח ידיו. That's ha-mavlig. He says ha-mavlig is hey. Hey mavlig. 5 is mavlig shod al-az. Beautiful. Rabbi Zera, Ashkach le Rav Yehuda da havekaya pitcha debe hamua. He was standing by his father-in-law's door. V'hazi he saw da have bedi hada'ateh. He was very happy. V'iba mineh kol halalei alma. If he asked him everything in the world, have amar le'll tell him. Amar le, he told him, Mai ta'ama izi maskan bereisha. Why do the goats walk in the front? V'hadar imre, and then the sheep. Amar le kibriyato shel olam, like the creation of the world. Tebereisha hashucha, v'hadar nehora. Vahi erev, vahi boker. From all the questions in the world, Bobby, this is what he had to ask him? They're black. A lot of Rashi says.
First day, we say Hashem created something before that.
He created Shamayim Va'aretz.
When was it?
That night.
Which night? You finish, then say before the book.
Bereisha hashucha, stam izim shehorot, stam rehelo levanot. Before Vahi Erev didn't create it. I don't think Vahi Erev created the Erev. We don't say that. Yehi creates. Vahi is it was. It existed. Gam shenat, the Maharsha says, you hear Jack? Gam shenatnu chachmei ateva ta'am litzira bekol davar. Umatzinu ka'agavna betalmud. מפני מה אוזן כולה קשה ועל ירקה מכל מקום טעם דאיזה מסגן ברשע וטעם דהני מחסיין הוא דחוק ועל כן נרדת נכוונו בכל זה לדברים המגיעים לתורה בדרך משל וזה שכתוב מהי טעמה איזה מסגן על פי מה שכתוב דמלכות יוון נמשל לעז וצביר like it says in דניאל וישראל נמשלו לשה שא פזורה ישראל ולפי שבבית שני לא עמדו מלכים לישראל מלכי חשמונאי והורדוס עד שמלכו בזמן הבית מקודם מלכות יוון אלכסנדר מוקדון. So the Jews only had independent kingdom after Yavan came. ואחריו מלכים אחרים מיוון אמרו על זה מה טעמה איזה, the goats, שהוא מלכות יוון אז לם ברישה למלוך בבית שני ואחר כך אמרה שהוא מלכות ישראל. Amarlei says, "Kfar nirma ze bebriyato shel olam." In the beginning it was dark, v'choshech al penei tehom, v'hadar neora d'kidechtiv yihi or. V'amru bebereshit rabba v'choshech al penei tehom. That's Yavan. Shechshichu nehem shel Yisrael b'gzerotam. And then Malchut Chashmonai, which is or shemalchu benes nerot shel Chanukah. So the question was much deeper. Why does the Galut have to come before Yisrael gets a Malchut? He says that's the way Hashem created the world. I just saw it in the Shlach HaKadosh, also explaining this concept. Okay. So that's this concept. It's not just a question about goats. So now he told them, "My ta'ama hani michsiyan v'hani migliyan." Why are these covered and these are uncovered? Meaning, the goats, the sheep have a tail. It covers their privates. The goats don't have a tail. Their privates are open. Why is these covered and these open? So he told them, Hani de machsina minayu michsayan. The ones that we have benefit from, we cover as self with the wool from the sheep. So therefore Hashem, midah keneged midah, He covered them. The goats don't give us, so Hashem kept them open. The Maharsha says, Al pi ma shkatuv beperek Hamad Yoma, Rishonim de bayit Rishon nitgala avonam. The sin was open, nitgalta kitzam. So Hashem told them when their end was. Aharonim, meaning 70 years. Aharonim shebabayit sheri lo nitgala avonam. Their sin wasn't uncovered. Lo nitgala kitzam. So we don't know how long the galut is going to be. V'zeh shkatuv hani de bebayit sheni de mechsyan minayu. Meaning, since the sin is covered, So therefore, their Geulah is covered. Then he asked him, "My ta'ama gam la zutar gnufte." So why does the camel have a small tail? Mishum de achil kise, because he eats thorns. So he's always in the thorns. If he'd have a long tail, it'd get caught in the thorns. My ta'ama Torah aricha gnufte. Why does the sheep, the cow, have a long tail? Mishum de dayir be'agmeh. He's constantly in the marshes, and there's a lot of flies. Ubay le karkushe bake. He's got to swat the flies. My ta'ama karna de kamtza rechicha. Why is either the locust or the ant have a soft feelers? Mishum de daira behilfe. Because he goes in the hilfe. What does Rashi say? Arava, in the plains. Ve'i ka'ashya, if it would be hard, nadya, it would fall off, u'mitavran, it'll become blind. Ta'amar Shmuel, hayman de bayad de l'smiele kamtza, if you want to blind an ant or a locust, l'shlufinu lekarneh, take off his feelers. My ta'ama hay timra de tarnegolta, midli le'ela. The chicken, he says, his eyelid, everybody else, the eyelid closes from the top down. The chicken, the eyelid goes from the bottom up. Why does it go up? The dairi adapeh, because at night he goes up on the boards. They stand on the boards. The ayil kutra, and if smoke will get in, mitavra will become blind. So therefore, closes up. It blocks the smoke better. Now the Gemara goes into a different point. He asked him etymology again. Dasha, which is a door. Why is it called a dasha? He told him derech sham. The way in is through there. It's an abbreviation. Derech sham. Darga is steps. Derech gag, the way up to the roof. Matkulita. Matkulita is a dip. Any dip you call matkulita. So he says, Matai tichle da, because you only eat a little bit of the dip at a time. It lasts for a month. He says, when's it going to end? So it's every day, still more. Beita, a house, regular house. Ba ve'etiv, come and I'll sit in it. I'll live in it. Bikta is like a little hut. Be'akta is a house of suffering. Yeah. Kufta is some sort of a seat. No, machteshet is what you crush. Lashon acher midah lechitin. It's a measurement for wheat. V'li nireh kemin golem etz asui lishiva. It's like a big piece of wood that you sit on. Kemo kupat seor shi hada lishiva. Okay. Kofetiv. I think it's turn it over and sit on it. Kofetiv. Livne bricks. Livne bane will stay for your grandchildren. Hutza, that's like the lulav branches. Hatzitza, they use it to make partitions. Hatzva, that's the cup that they draw water from the river. Shehotzev maiminahi, like he carves out water from the river with it. Kuza, kazeh. Kuza is a klicheres katan, kazeh, small. This is how much I need. It's like one time, you fill up for one time. The other one you take a lot. Shutita, they used to dance with a hadas in front of the kala. He was in a good mood. Shtuta, guy looks like he's crazy when he's dancing with it. Mishichla, that's a big pail that everybody washes from. Mashi kula, everybody washes from it. Mashkilta, Rashi says mashkilta is katan. Sevog, it's a nice one. Mashya kalta, it's like for washing the kala for hashuv people. Asita, hasirta. Asita is the what's it called? Is the mortar, the thing that they use that when they want to grind something. So you have the mortar is the big thing, and then the pestle is the thing that they crush it with, right? So he says asita hasirta. Rashi says hasirta, it's missing the inside because you carved it out. Hasirta shehasira hakikami bifnim. I would have said you use it to break things down. Buchna, bo v'akenna. Come on, I'm going to hit it. What? Levusha, that's muchni. Levusha, clothing, lo bosha, it's not embarrassed. Gilima is like a cape. No, it's not cut. Shena'aseh bo kegelim, golem. He looks like he's unfinished. He has no arms. You don't see arms and legs. Gulta, gelev etiv. The gulta is a chashuv coat that before you sit, you have to pick it up like the frock. You see the rabbis with the frock, before they sit, they lift it up. So it's like a gulta. Galev etiv. Lift it up and sit. The other one is a cape. Glima is a cape. Glima is a cape. Purya. What's that? Glima doesn't have sleeves. The gulta is not a question of sleeves. It's long. You have to pick it up before you sit. Makturin na'eh. I don't know, something else. Purya. Sheparim veravin aleha. A bed because you make pirya v'rivya on it. Bur zinka. Rashi says zinka is like an old one, doesn't have water in it anymore. Bor shiyav shumemav korim ken. Bor ze naki. This pit is clean. Cleaned out of water. Sudra, that's the hat that the rabbis wear. Sod Hashem li're'av. This is the one that the people in there know Hashem's secrets. Afadna, that's a very, like a palace. Apitha den. The opening of this. El petach ze, apitcha, el petach ze yavo hakol. Im lemishpat, im lesharet hamelech. Tana Rabbanan. Calls shelosha, three things. Calls man shemaskinim. The older they get, mosifim givura, they get stronger. Ve'eluhen. Dag, ve'nahash, ve'hazir. כנראה. עתי ללמוד בזה מוסר, שלא יהיה להוט אחר תאוות ריבוי מאכלים הטובים ומובחרים כדי להרבות כוחו לעת זקנתו, לזה מייתי מאלו גמול, שהם אוכלים ושותים ממאכלים הקלים ושפלים שבעולם, כמו דג שעיקר כוחו גבורתו מהמים, נחש אכל לחמו, חזיר eats from the dirt, ואפילו אחי לעת זקנתו הגבורה מתוסף. צבת השם.
If you eat good,
No, he says ta'avot ha'olam. It's adrabah. They say, person will think, I'll eat. In the old days, they thought the heavier you were, the stronger you were. Right? You have to eat a diet that's healthy. Now, it's not necessarily the more you eat. Eat what you're supposed to eat.
you have to eat everything you like.
You have to eat what...
Right quantity, that's it. Don't get anything you want.
Shemen, Jack is a jack of all trades. Shemen, kedei lasuch ever katan, enough to smear a small part of the body. Amri de Rabbi Yanai, in Rabbi Yanai's house they said, Shemen, kedei lasuch ever katan shel katan ben yomo. The smallest part of a newborn baby. Yani what? The pinky toe of a newborn baby. That's the ever katan. Ehad mi pirkei etzba ketana. One part of his pinky. Right? Meiti vei shemen, oil, kedei lasuch ever katan, a small limb, ve katan ben yomo. And a baby who was just born. Two things. My love, ever katan de gadol, either the small part of a big guy, the ever gadol shel katan, and a big part of a baby. So you see that it's adrabah. From a big guy, it's the small part. From a baby, it's the big part. Amri lecha deber biyanai lo. Hachi ka'amar. Shemen kede lasuch ever katan shel katan ben yomo. V'katan ben yomo, when it says v'katan ben yomo, meaning ever katan, v'katan, and it's of the katan ben yomo. Leima ketanae, let's say it's a machloket tanaim. Shemen kede lasuch ever katan, v'katan ben yomo, devrei Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. Rabbi Natan omer kede lasuch ever katan. My love behaka maflig. Arguing like this. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar savar ever katan shel katan. Rabbi Natan savar ever katan de gadol. Because why didn't he mention the katan? Or ever gadol de katan. Aval ever katan shel katan ben yomo lo. Says Gemara lo. De kule alma ever katan de katan ben yomo. Lo. That's no good. Not like Rabbi Yanai. V'leter le Rabbi Yanai. V'acha v'hakim. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar savar ever katan de gadol. Ve'ever gadol de katan ben yomo ki adad dininu, it's the same size. It means ever katan de gadol and ever gadol de katan ben yomo. In ever gadol de katan ben yomo lo. He holds no, only the ever katan of gadol. Ever gadol of katan is different shiur. Mai have ala, what's the maskana? Ta shema, Tanya Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar omer shemen kede lasuch ever katan shel katan ben yomo. Exactly like Rabbi Yanai. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.